So watching Midday Live, and the President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, has decried the destruction of the environment. Speaking at the 60th anniversary parade on Monday, President Akufo-Addo noted that Ghanaians must dedicate the 60th independence anniversary to protecting our environment and regenerating the lands and water bodies.
On a day like this, we cannot ignore the state of our environment. We are endangering the very survival of the beautiful and blessed land that our forebears bequeathed to us. The dense forests that were home to varied trees, plants, and fauna have been largely wiped out. Today, we import timber for our use, and the description of our land as a tropical forest no longer fits the reality. Our rivers and lakes are disappearing, and those that still exist are all polluted. It bears repeating that we do not own the land, but hold it in trust for generations yet unborn. We have a right to exploit the bounties of the earth and extract the minerals and even redirect the path of rivers, but we do not have the right to denude the land of the plants and fauna, nor poison the rivers and lakes. There is nothing we can do better to pay homage to those who fought to free us from bondage than to dedicate this 60th independence anniversary to protecting our environment and regenerating the lands and water bodies.
Well, you might recall that even before the President's speech on Monday, which was during our 60th anniversary celebration, we started our campaign on the pollution of water bodies, and we're still continuing with that campaign. But first, let's take a quick look at what we have here on our screen, and that's our very own River Pra. Several years ago, this was the picture, and years on, this is what we have as River Pra, polluted by galamsey operations within and around its environs. Let's look at some of the situations we have here and half of major water bodies resource polluted. Now, 26 out of the 41 rivers tested, including River Pra and Cobra Tano, are very heavily polluted, and there you have it. You see the picture right on your screens. Water bodies that have been destroyed, some totally due to galamsey operations, and this has also affected water supply in our country. Now, one water treatment plant in the eastern region shut down, and two others in Ashanti and Bono Ahafo regions are also under threat, and this has become a major concern in the country, and specifically for the Ghana Water Company, because they have to put in some extra efforts to ensure that we have clean water to drink. Now, in 2013, the Ghana Immigration Service repatriated nearly 4,000 Chinese involved in illegal mining, and in these water bodies, the question is that has that really helped solve the situation? Because the water has already been contaminated. What can be done to solve the problem or to resolve this very issue? An inter-ministerial task force against illegal mining became less effective after 2013-2014. This afternoon, shortly, we will be speaking with Stanley Marty. He is with the Ghana Water Company, River Fin and Adiambra. That's the second bit, third River and Cobra and Pistia, and the fourth River Birim in Osino. And we'll bring you some more shortly on the destruction and the effects of this very situation countrywide. What is happening? What should be done? What is being done? Have we seen any solution so far? This afternoon, I do have Stanley Marty, Head of Communications, Ghana Water Company. Good afternoon, and thanks for your time. I realize you were paying particular attention to the presentation. What do you make of this?
Yeah, these are pictures that I have been privileged to see personally. I've always been around these areas as a result of my job, and it's a sad situation. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful that the President now is speaking about it. This is not the first time. Yesterday, I've heard him, I think this is about the third time since he assumed office. And I think it's a sign of some commitment towards the fight against some of these small practices.
Is that
against,
enough?
It's a start of, I think he's just assumed office, and it's a start of some good work to come. So we just have to pick it up from there, and then we continue and see how best we can have the situation solved.
Now, can you tell us specifically the number of treatment plants that have been affected as a result of some of these galamsey operations?
Yeah, currently there are about 10 treatment plants in the central region, the western region, Brongahafo region, and then the eastern region. Yes, so there are about 10 in all. And with the onset of the rains, we've seen some improvement now, because when the levels are high, the galamsey operators are unable to do their work. And so, and then with the inflows, the water becomes less polluted, or the turbidity clears a bit, so we are able to manage the situation. So this morning, for instance, in Abesim, in the Brongahafo region, we are producing at full capacity because there's enough water in the system.
No.
In the western region, Dabase, for instance, we still are not producing at full capacity, not only because of the galamsey operations, but because the raw water levels are quite low. So we are still producing somewhere 50–60%, which is not enough for the population. But then we are hoping that there will be much improvement as the rains set in, and then we'll be able to produce at full capacity and serve the population. Now,
one of the water treatment plants, like Chebi, for example, there was some sort of challenge there. Has that been resolved?
Yeah, not yet. You know, we tried resolving that by putting up a new treatment plant, okay, and that helped a bit. So even that treatment plant weren't able to produce at full capacity, just about some 40%. Occasionally we shut it down, but anytime there are rains and the turbidity goes down, or the level of turbidity goes down, then we are able to produce. So I think there's something being done. The situation is not that terrible currently. I
was in the western region, for example, sometime last year, and the destruction was massive.
Yes,
it was quite disturbing. During my presentation, I mentioned that there was some form of inter-ministerial task force work that was done. We saw some of these illegal miners were sent away, but for you, as someone who works with, or a stakeholder in the industry, has that paid off in any way?
Yeah, it helped. It helped seriously, and so I'm happy that the current president is also talking about it, which means that there's a way out. Okay, so something began in 2013, it's continued, and now it's still going to continue, so that eventually we'll have it kept. And so I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm particularly grateful that the president is committed to it. For me to hear him 3 times within a very short time that he's assumed office, I have the belief that he's committed to that. And so I'm sure we'll see very good signs. And I think apart from the president's pronouncement, our chiefs must also get involved. I'm happy about the chiefs in Konongo and Ashanti region, for instance, because we met them severally with the then minister, and they were committed to the cause. They apologized and said we should give them time. They were going to abrogate the contracts between them and then whoever they give the lands or the area to. And they did. Within a month, they are stopped. And now there's improvement in Konongo. We are able to operate the new treatment plant that we've established at the place. And they are getting good water. So I think it's paying off. We don't have to stop, but we need to continue. And that is why I'm particularly excited with the president's mentioned.
Before I let you go, how much is it costing you to add on a lot more chemicals to treat water for supply?
Currently, the cost of production has gone high, and I will say that the cost of production per meter cube now is somewhere around 8 cedis.
Ordinarily, how much should have it?
It should be less. I mean, less than 2 cedis, less than the tariff that we have currently. Okay, so assuming production cost is very low, then the tariffs can come down. But if the production cost is high, then there's nothing we can do than for the PRC to increase the tariff, because even as I speak, we are not even breaking even. Okay, we are still producing and selling below the tariff. You understand? But it's because the government and we all see water as some social good which we all must enjoy. So the government is subsidizing in a way. Okay, but we still could come down if some of these things could be kept.
Now, Stanley, your entity is a major stakeholder. You've expressed concerns on several platforms, including ours, and you're doing the same today. As an organization, what are you doing aside going around sensitizing, talking to chiefs, talking to people? What exactly are you doing to help curb the situation?
Yeah, Wendy, it's not within our remit to kind of use force. We can only report to the law enforcement agencies, and we do that. And from the way the situation is, I think it's better with dialogue. It's better we use the software.
But one would say that dialogue hasn't solved the problem.
Yeah, but it will. That is why I said that in the last few months, we had done something in Konongo. That is why I've been proud to mention Konongo. And the chiefs did so well. They apologized to us, to Ghanaians as a whole, and said we should give them time. They are going to abrogate their contract, and then this thing that will stop. And they did exactly that. They gave us they gave us a month, and within a month, all operators had left the place, and now water is flowing. Okay, so I think that worked. If we continue like that, it will, because we had used force in times past, it didn't work. You understand? Because you can't employ the military to be there 365 days in a year. Okay, so they go there, and after some time they leave, and then they start operations again. So I think the dialogue is doing well. All these areas are, or the lands or the water bodies are given out to them by the chiefs. Okay. So the chiefs must get involved. If the chiefs say no, their subjects will listen. Okay. You understand? Because if a chief doesn't give you the opportunity or the permission to take up his land or within his jurisdiction, you can't do that.
Thank you very much, Asiedu-Dartey. He is the head of Communications Ghana Water Company. Thanks for your time. You're still watching Midday Live.